This chapter will cover linear extensions, linear isolations, and how to practice them. These are driving styles that move the poi by tracing lines with your hand. First, the linear extension. By moving in tandem with the poi head, we elongate its arc in one direction. So swing one poi in the wall plane with your hand down low. Once the poi head passes the bottom of its orbit, lift your hand in a straight line upwards until the poi head is approaching the top of its orbit. You've extended one arc of the orbit. Keep spinning the poi, and once it passes the top, lower your hand in a line, stopping as the poi head nears the bottom. When you get the feel for this, you can lock into an up-down rhythm with your hand that is constantly extending the orbit to form an ellipse. That's linear extension along a vertical line, but you can do it on any line you choose. Start with the vertical and tilt the line your hand traces to a 45-degree angle. The ellipse that your poi head traces is now slanted on this diagonal. To extend on a horizontal line, start with your poi spinning in the wall plane. As the poi head passes the outside, slide your hand across your center in a line. Keep it spinning when you reach the other side. Once it passes the far side of its orbit, slide your hand in a line back to its original position. These motions can be combined without the pause in between. That's the technique of linear extension. Linear isolation is similar, but by moving at a different part of the poi orbit, you create a loop instead of an arc. Your poi head traces a line. For your poi head to make a vertical line, your hand will have to move side to side. Start with your hand to the side just like the last exercise. You're going to move in a horizontal line across your body, but you're going to start your motion when the poi reaches exactly the side of its orbit at your body's center line. You'll move your hand a distance equal to 2 poi lengths, and as a result, your poi head will make a line straight down, then straight back up again into a new orbit. Watch it again. To come back the other way, wait for that side point of the orbit again and move your hand horizontally. The poi head goes straight up at first, and then comes back down. As you practice, it helps to watch the poi head and picture the straight line you want it to trace. Your hand can make slight adjustments to help it follow that line. Now, we'll show you the linear isolations that trace a horizontal line. Start with your poi spinning in the wall plane and your hand held up high. Right when the poi head reaches the bottom of its orbit, move your hand straight down a distance of 2 poi lengths. The poi head goes straight out to the side, then back into a new orbit. To go the other way, wait until the poi head reaches the top of its orbit, then move straight up. This can also be done in the wheel plane. We leave it to you to practice the other possible angles because the technique is the same. Note that we're always pausing between going one way and coming back. It is possible to do continuous linear isolations, but it is very challenging because of how quickly and precisely you'd have to move. When you curve out a linear move, it becomes either spin or anti-spin. Linear is effectively the boundary between spin and anti-spin. Now, we'll show you some ways to practice the techniques we just taught. These exercises will provide a solid foundation for you to move up to continuous assembly patterns and elliptical assemblies. First, we'll practice our linear extensions. With just one poi spinning, picture a point in space you'll move your hand to. When the poi head reaches the spot on its orbit that points away from your destination, move your hand quickly and evenly to its new location. Keep repeating those steps. Visualize a spot, wait for the correct part of the orbit, then move your hand only in a line. Make sure you practice both hands, both directions. Try the same thing again, but do linear isolations rather than linear extensions. Wait an extra half turn of the poi so that the poi head is pointing towards where you'll move your hand. When it reaches that spot, move your hand in the linear path and try to move twice the length of your poi. The poi head will trace a line too. Now for some fun with 2 hands. We'll start with opposite directions or butterfly. Use linear extensions to extend the orbit from a circle to an ellipse. This has the same bouncing feeling as the butterfly itself, but you accentuate that feeling and push the up and down bounce to its limit. It'll take repetition to get comfortable at the limits of your range of motion. From above, you see that the planes are slightly offset to avoid collision. Extending through a diagonal line with your hands creates an ellipse in a quarter-time butterfly. A shorter line is easier to trace. A longer line has a more pronounced effect. Of course, it'll seem tough if it's the first time you've ever tried it. Repetition will change it from challenging to easy to effortless. Try angling both ways. Try the split time version too. Push side to side, staying in a plane close to your chest. The hand that's across your chest is the one that's in a wall plane slightly farther away from you. To take it further, try practicing switching the timing in the center to draw lines to any point around you. The same lines of extension are possible while separating the hands too. For a together time overhand butterfly, wait until the poi heads are headed towards the bottom of their orbits, then extend your hands in lines out to your sides. Bring your hands back together as your poi are headed towards the top of their orbits. After a few tries, you can go out and in one motion. The same is possible in split time. Now you're separating your hands in a vertical line. Here are similar exercises for same direction. Be sure to try each of the possibilities in all timings and directions.
Hey, I'll be leaving town soon.
Here are some final possibilities to practice combining the linear techniques. Get solid with all of these exercises. They're the building blocks for some cool advanced moves. Watch this chapter more than once. Once you've had some practice and feel some control, move on to the continuous assembly patterns chapter.